Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the channel. If you like trading stocks and options, welcome. Stay with us, join us as we talk about stocks, options, and we're going to make a live trade today as well. We have lots of things to talk about. We will be taking a look at the overall market. The S&P 500 is down almost 9 points, and as many of you know, I do have a little bit of a short position still holding on. We're going to look at all the key levels in the S&P 500. We're going to take a look at Zoom. Is it time to get back in Zoom? Zoom might be making a run with the second set of lockdowns coming in. We're also going to look at a stock that everyone seems to be talking about, and to be honest, I know almost nothing about the stock, and that is IDEX. So if you have any information on IDEX, please feel free to leave it in the comments, because I would love to learn more, because I'm not buying until I do. All right, let's also going to take a look, of course, at SOLO and NIO, and hopefully have a little bit of a conversation today about complacency in the market. Is the market at all-time highs as far as complacency? Let's take a look first at the S&P 500. We're going to look at the spiders, which of course is the proxy for the S&P 500. Let's go ahead, zoom out. Here's a 5-minute chart. We're going to zoom out a little bit here and take a look at the 15-minute chart. And you can see that over the course of this week, the overall market has really done nothing but play games with the key levels that we have drawn on this chart from a long time ago. And that is the previous all-time high and that former breakout area. So we are just, once we lost this 359, we've tried to back test it. And now we're starting to fall off a little bit. So that might be a little bit of a shot across the bow if you are a bull. However, we have managed to stay above and bounced off pretty significantly off that 354. So all of that looks like they're still kind of in this range and really no clear direction. And that is one of the things I wanted to talk about is complacency. What kind of complacency do we have right now inside this market? Now, we know, of course, that stocks and options continually climb the wall of worry. That pull, that back and forth, that tension between things are good, things are not, are often what causes the market to continue to go up, because if everybody's bullish, then it doesn't always go up. And it's starting to feel like we might be in that spot. Look at the move that we have had off the March lows. Let's go to a yearly chart. Obviously, this move off the March lows, there's been some minor little pullbacks here. They were decent in the size of percentage. But one of the things that's important, not just percentage, but also time. And these corrections really did not last any length of time in order to really scare and shake people out. It has been straight line. We had a pullback, and then we bounced, pull back, bounce, and now we're at all-time highs again. And the buy the dip crowd has done nothing but make money, 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 money. And there's this thing that we have called recency bias. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe perhaps we are in that situation now, because March is almost, 3/4 of a year ago. And so I start to wonder if we're in that place now where recent history is kind of dominating, especially in the minds of traders. And we know throughout the pandemic and throughout this time that there have been an enormous amount of new traders come into the market. And now we're sitting at a point where there might be significant complacency inside the market, where the thought is, even if stocks come back down, we know they're going back up. Stonks only go back up. But history says that at times we have these things called bear markets. And a bear market is where stocks go down and then they go up. And then they go down and then they go up and then they go down and they go down and they go up and they go down and down. But the overall trend for periods of months and sometimes years is down. Now, I'm not one to want to call a top in the market, because calling tops does nothing to make you money. It causes you to lose money. But the level of complacency that I'm seeing on forums and networks, people who are going on Robinhood forums that I love to follow because they're completely entertaining, and saying, I've got $30,000 to play with. Well, first of all, even if you got $30,000, you ain't playing with it. This is investing, all right? This is serious, and you should treat your money seriously. And so all of these people feel that it's almost a matter of how much money am I going to make in the stock market? Not, am I going to make money in the stock market and how long will it take me? And so it's starting to weigh on me, and I'm starting to look at it as we might be at all-time highs for complacency in this stock market. And maybe that complacency is rightly deserved. But we still have it's a contested election. Trump continues to contest this election. Now, what the fallout would be if there actually is some evidence to the accusations being made, and what impact that would have on the election. What do you think will happen to the stock market if Biden does not become the president in January 2021? We also have stopped caring, which is sad. We've stopped caring about the continual lockdowns in this market across the country, because we're viewing it, at least I think the stock market is viewing it through the lens of, we have a vaccine on the way. And even if we have 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, doesn't matter what the number is. Thousands and thousands of cases a day. Thousands of deaths a day. Over 250,000 fatalities in the United States. But a vaccine's on the way, so the market keeps going up, up, up and away. So that's my rant for today. I really think that complacency is at an all-time high in the market, and recency bias has us believing, or has traders believing, that markets only go up, stocks only go up, and there is no risk in this market. I'm not sure I agree that there is no risk in this market, but prices up, up, up and away. Look at this weekly low since Halloween. Just above that, what I'm calling uber duper support, 320. That 3,200 level should be a significant line of the sand in your mind, especially if you are a bull. Now, if we pull back to 3,200 in the S&P 500, that is going to be almost a 15% drop. Can you believe we're up 15% in less than a month? As Biden wins and we have a contested election, new shutdowns across this country. Let's take a look at some stonks that only go up and try to make some money on it. Let's look at Zoom. Zoom. And Paul, if you're watching or you're in the comments, great call on Zoom, as we had a discussion just the other day on what in the world was going to go on Zoom. And I'll be honest, I had a tendency to take the other side of this trade. Paul had a logical thesis as it's related to Zoom and why Zoom should go up, and it's the lockdowns. School's closing again. And you take a look here at the daily chart. First off, we have this huge gap. Maybe that's a breakaway gap. Maybe that gap's going to be filled. But we started to enter this consolidation. And because of the move down, my view was this is probably a bear flag, which 80% of the time is going to resolve itself lower. And we're still not completely out of the box, so that could happen. But you look back a few days ago, the box was there. And Paul says Zoom is a buy, 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 and started buying Zoom. And we had a discussion about, a stop below this lower. And look at it now. It's breaking out of the box that we had, and it's going up. Does it go back up to 588? 600? Or is the long-term bubble the long-term thesis in Zoom, which is crazy? I know there's probably schools and companies that are paying for Zoom, but how many of you guys pay for Zoom? There's so many users on the platform. Maybe they'll monetize it somehow with ads and other things, but that's a long-term thesis. The trade right now may be that Zoom is going higher. And I like the trade, especially now with this breakout. And look at, congratulations, Paul. You're up 6.6% today alone as it breaks up and out of the box. Zoom, it looks like we've got this rotation going on once again. Back into the stocks that worked during the last break, last lockdown. Your Zooms, your Teledocs. Let's take a look for more. Now, I do have a stock I want to look up, and if anybody knows anything about it, it's IDEX. It's been on my radar, started yesterday. This is a penny stock. This is very illiquid. This would not be an investment stock, but I know nothing, almost absolutely nothing about this stock. But yet on the forums, everyone seems to be talking about IDEX going to the moon. I know absolutely nothing about it. Quite a bit of support here. Let's start marking up this chart. And because there may be an opportunity coming up to put some money to work. Very obvious support here at the 80-cent level. Almost an island reversal there. And we kind of came to it today. We filled that gap today on the spike up to 175. And this is probably a mechanism of everybody is talking about this stock. This is going to be a breakout area if we can get above it. So we take another look. Look at this definitely has some significant price movement. If anybody knows, I'm not dabbling in it yet. Now we've got this big kangaroo tail. It's not necessarily the time for me to want to get into this, but I know some people have done very, very well in this stock. So if anybody has any information on IDEX, please leave it in a comment. Would love to learn a little bit more about it. Now let's take a look at some of the other stocks, and we are going to make a trade. There is a stock that I want to try to take a position in and might have missed it a little bit by waiting until later in the afternoon today. But we're going to look at it and hopefully make a trade live. But let's first look at, now everyone's talking about the Solo. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the stock. See, man, stocks only go up, right? Holy cow. Congratulations, all of you that have Solo. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Matt's got a comment. He thinks that they make instrumentation and gauges and sensors for, Matt, is that for like cars, or I'm assuming this is IDEX, but what do they make instruments for? Is this for electric vehicles, or is it just a vehicle play? Red Solo Cup. You lift me up. It's time for a part. Look at this thing. I have no idea where Solo's going, guys. Anyone that tries to give you a price target on Solo is absolute crazy. I think this is now going to be a kind of a wait and see what happens if it ever comes back to the $8 level. Maybe to do it today. Look at this. Another kangaroo tail. So that goes back to my thesis that we were talking about earlier in the stream about complacency in this market. And you start to look at this and start to think, look at these stocks that are having these kangaroo tails that go up like this. And then they start coming back. So this IDEX actually makes money, or makes actual things, huh, Matt? Matt's saying that they use gauges and stuff for every industry. That's very interesting. I'm going to look at them a little bit more than Matt. This is not like, you know, I'm sick and tired of all these companies coming out, and I know we've traded them and we've made some money on them. These companies that come out that all they are is a PowerPoint presentation. They don't do anything. Yes, I'm speaking about NIO. Not NIO, Nikola. Let me get that right. So, Solo Cup, 22% today. You know, this is why sometimes it's real easy to think, man, I missed out. Look at this. We had this breakout yesterday. Clear breakout right here. And I know there's a lot of people, look at that breakout, I missed it. And you've got to come up with a trading plan that works for you. And it's real easy to think, man, you might have missed it. But then look, you didn't miss it. It just went sideways for the day and bam, back up a 22%. That's a momentum trade. And we're going to get into a trade. But if you're watching this and you enjoy trades every single Monday, I place an option trade. Do it live for all the Patreons, then go ahead and post it here on YouTube. So if that's something that interests you, why don't you go ahead and check it out. I'm Bill, and I trade stocks and options. And every Monday, I post a video showing a trade that I'm making using a maximum of $100. Let's get into this week's trade. So the trade I want to make today, FSLY, Fastly. Now I know we had this epic crush. Look at this epic crush. I know this was news driven. I don't put much stock in news. Charts are going to tell me what. And now look at this move again. Might have missed a little bit by, man, this thing is up another 6% today. So what it is I want to buy. This is a little bit of an anatomy of a trade, if you will. I want to be bullish back in Fastly. I don't really love the move today. I mean, I love the move. It definitely reinforces my thesis that this stock is kind of due to its breaking out. I like it. I love it. I want some of it. Don't necessarily want to pay the $85. So I'm going to do a little bit of a conservative strategy today, and I'm going to walk you along with me and make this trade live. And the way I want to buy this stock, or potentially buy this stock, is I'm going to buy this stock by selling a put option for next week. So let's go into Robinhood and start to take a look here at what we have going on. So let me do this. Sorry. There we go. FSLY, Fastly. So I'm on November 27th. And I lost where the chart is. Let's get the chart back up here. We're at $85. And climbing. So I want to buy Fastly. But I'm not really wanting to go out and just buy it right away. I'm going to buy 100 shares. That's $8,500 worth of stock. But I don't want to do it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and sell a put. So I'm going out to next Friday. And this stock keeps going up and up. And what I'm looking at right now is selling the 86 put. Now what that means is someone will have the option to sell me that stock at $86. Not the obligation, but they'll have the option to sell me that stock at $86. And they are going to pay me because I'm selling it. So they're going to pay me $340. Now, what is my risk in this trade? In the event that FSLY, Fastly, goes down in value, I will be losing money. But that is the exact same risk that I'd have if I went out and clicked buy 100 shares right now. So there really is no additional risk with this strategy. In the event that Fastly is trading at or below $86 by next Friday, I will probably be assigned on this option and I will be forced to buy the stock at $86. Now you may think, well, that's crazy. It's only at 85.5 right now. Why would you buy it at 86? Well, I am going to receive $330 today for putting on this trade, and that will be my money to keep, regardless of the outcome of this trade. So essentially, I have that $300. So it's much like buying Fastly at $83. So if Fastly is $83 and below, I will not be money positive at that point at this trade, but it's the same amount of risk as if I bought the stock today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click continue, and I am going to try to sell one of these puts for, let's see what the mid price is, $335. It's going up. I'm going to adjust this a little bit, try to get a fill for the video live stream here. $320 for sure will get me an instant fill. Don't do this unless you want to get an instant fill. This is, I'm giving up a few dollars here for your education. All right, review order. So I will be selling the $86 put in Fastly with kind of a long-term goal, hoping that I actually get assigned on this stock. I actually do want to own this stock. So what's going to happen next week? In the event, you'll see the collateral is going to be $8,600. Click submit. In the event that Fastly goes above and stays above this $86, I won't get a chance to buy the stock, but I will get to keep that $320. Now here's my strategy. What am I going to do with that $320? I'm going to use it to buy some Fastly stock. So for the benefit of time and for the exchange of entering into this contract, let's click done. Got the fill right away. Actually got filled at $335. Robinhood did very good here. Great job filling me actually above my limit order. Doesn't always happen, but options are pretty liquid right now in Fastly, so that worked out very well. So now I received $335. Going into next week, if Fastly does nothing but go sideways, this is going to go down in value. And we're going to assume that I'm not going to trade in and out of this contract. I am going to hold it no matter what until expiration on Friday. So one of two things will happen. Fastly will be above $86 and I get to keep all $335 from me. Put that in the hip pocket. And I, of course, will treat that like a dividend, and I will go out there and I will put that $300 back to work by buying Fastly stock, because right now I have a bullish thesis. I think it's going up. I want to own it. Now, in the event that Fastly is trading below $86, I will be forced to buy that stock at $86. So let's just say Friday comes and Fastly is at $85. I will buy it at $86, $1 above the market price. But I already got $335. That's essentially over $3 a share on 100 shares. So even though I'm paying 86 with that 300, it's kind of like I'm paying 82. And so if we have some down move in Fastly, I will be happy to buy it. Now, when I'm doing a strategy like this, buying stock by selling a put, you have to kind of have your same rules in place. You have to have a stop of where you're wrong. And looking at the chart, my move is somewhere around this $80 range, right? It can spike it. It's kind of a volatile stock. So my mental stop, and I'll set an alert here on the screen, is going to be this $80. As long as it's above $80, I'm happy to own this stock. The uptrend is going. I want to own it. Now, even though I don't have the stock, I will manage this trade just like I have the stock in my hand. because I am going to lose money if the stock comes down, just like if I went out there right now and bought 100 shares of the stock. Hope that helps explain it. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to go long fastly, FSLY, by selling that put. And we'll keep you updated on how that goes. Let's take a look at a trade that I talked about yesterday that I was in Tesla. Actually ended up working out very well, as I thought for sure once we got above this previous all-time high, we would get another push. And, you know, it kind of didn't get the exact push that I wanted. But then coming into the end of the day, we got this secondary push and was able to take that trade off. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull it up here for you guys in the history of my Robinhood and kind of show you. This trade ended up being on for 1 day, so it was a day trade. I went ahead and got some. Hopefully it doesn't show anything real important on here. All right, there's our Fastly put that we were able to put in. So the Tesla spread here took it off for $1,155. Let's get out our handy calculator. $1,155 is what we took it off for. $10.35 is what it was put on for. So minus $10.35. Ended up making $120 on that trade yesterday, a little over 1% as it was a 1,000 or 10% as it was a $1,000 investment. So another winner. Chicken dinner. Go ahead and check out yesterday's stream if you didn't see it. Another really good trade. Let's go back and take a look at the overall market one more time. Coming into the end of the lunch break here. Those are the only things that I really have on my radar. Hit the wrong button. Still learning how to put all this stuff together for everybody. One thing to keep an eye on if you are watching the overall market today is that this is the normal monthly options expiration. And at times that can very much lead to some volatility, especially coming into the end of the day. It just appears that this market kind of has some want to go higher in it, and it's just kind of not happening. But we are heading into a holiday week here, and so there's a great chance that, you know, traders are going to kind of lock down some positions and take most of the week off. So that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you guys for joining, hanging out. Continue, if you see it, let me know anything you find out about this IDEX. It is a penny stock. This is very much complete risk capital if I do put a position on. But just kind of want to find out a little bit more about it. You look at the chart, man, it's going up, up, up and away. So hope you're here, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss Monday's video. Remember, on Monday I post a video every week making an options trade using a maximum of $100. So if you want to play along, join us. Until then, everyone, have a great, safe weekend, and we'll see you later.